Hey, Bruce Naylor here. Welcome to Coffee Break. How you doing? Hopefully you're enjoying this series of videos. So I recently purchased an iPad Pro, and so has a lot of tech reviewers and writers and other people, only to be posting videos and writing blog articles about why it's overpriced and they've returned them, or bemoaning the fact that it doesn't do certain things, that it's not a laptop replacement like they thought it was going to be. Just want to talk about that for just a moment. Now, some of the chief complaints are that, hey, it needs mouse support, needs to support a trackpad, needs better windowing, needs to support external hard drives. It needs to do all these things that you would want from a laptop. Ergo, it's not a laptop. Did I mention they also want more complete apps as well? But you see, I went back on YouTube and I actually went back and watched Steve Jobs demo the first iPad. And you know what? Here's what he said. You got people using smartphones here. You got laptops over here. Is there room for a third device? Well, if we do, it's got to do certain tasks better than either one of those devices. Now, what are those tasks? They are email, photos, browsing the web, video, music, games, and ebooks. Well, if you look at that, most of that is content consumption. Now, I think we can all agree that the iPad Pro is a derivation of the original iPad. Still, predominantly, I think, a content consumption device. Did I mention that the new iPad Pro is thin, it's light, it's got great battery life, a beautiful display with True Motion, 120 Hertz performance on that as well, and it's super fast, don't believe me. Here's the Geekbench store. Hopefully this will focus in on it. Hold it up there. 5,005 single score, CPU score, and 17,995. That is screaming fast. Still, this is not a replacement for the laptop for most professionals. Now, there's a lot of different professions out there, and not everybody is a graphics artist. Not everybody spends all their time in, Illustrator or Lightroom, or even creating video. Many of us spend all day doing more mundane tasks, crunching numbers in spreadsheets, creating invoices, making sales calls, logging notes, etc. The iPad's not so great for that kind of work. Presentations might be all right. Here's my point. At its heart and soul, the iPad Pro, as I said earlier, is a derivation of the iPad, conceived as a content consumption device to do some tasks particularly well, but not as well as maybe as a phone would do, or more particularly, what a laptop would do. I mean, after all, people, if Apple really thought this was laptop replacement, would they keep making the MacBook? So here's my advice to the tech reviewers and the pundits out there that's disappointed in the limitations of iOS. Yes, you don't have a really good way to get data off of an external drive. No, it doesn't support a mouse. Doesn't support a trackpad. After all, Steve Jobs thought this was your mouse. This is your trackpad. My advice to you, if you're looking for that kind of device that is somewhat similar to an iPad, but yet totally different, then get yourself a Microsoft Surface 6. Or maybe even the Go might do you. I don't know. It's smaller. That is, of course, if you're trying to do most business work. Now, iPad Pro, of course, is marketed more towards the creative types. And that's fine. This is probably a good device for you. But for us average mortals, the iPad Pro is just a way faster and cooler iPad. Did I mention it's got fantastic sound? And games on it are a joy to play. That's why I bought it, more or less as a replacement for my 9.7-inch iPad Pro that my wife got. And because it's got the newest generation CPU and it's super fast and thin and light, beautiful display, it'll do me for a long time. Still have a hard time justifying the price. The bottom line is yes, it's for some professionals, but certainly not all professionals. And if you really need the heavy-duty work out of a computer, then you really need a laptop. Maybe look at a Surface Pro. The iPad's really not there yet. And it's more that the operating system is the biggest limiting factor right now. This is probably done by design by Apple to keep those MacBooks for sale. But as a tablet, well, here's what I can tell you. I think they make a fantastic device. When it comes to tablets, there's iPad and then there's everyone else. I'm sticking with iPad. I'd like to get your opinion in the comments down below. What do you think? Is the iPad Pro actually pro enough? Are these writers, these journalists and so forth, just creating clickbaity articles and videos? You let me know. Comments down below. I'm a guy who happens to actually use one day in and day out, and I think it's going to do me for a good long time. I'm pretty happy with my purchase, but I'll talk to you later.